It's time for Mr. Fundamental!
Presented by no one.
Seeing as how my preseason video on the Dallas Mavericks was quite popular, I decided to do a breakdown on their season opener against the Washington Wizards. They started the game trying to get KP his first bucket as a Mav. This was a very well timed play, since Luka receives the pass at the same time as KP establishes position in the paint. But a foul by Hachimura stops the arena from erupting. The play right after the foul was almost identical, and we'll be seeing this a lot. Luka sets a back screen before getting a down screen of his own. Luka gets the blow-by on Bonga. Look at how he slips through the defense for the layup. Besides that, the Mavs didn't have the best start to this game. Brunson picked up his pivot foot too early on the drive. Off the miss, Luka tries to push the pace, but gets stripped, and he gave up the 3 by Wagner. The same happened for KP, getting called 2 travels in the first quarter. And this one was sort of an iffy call. Turnovers were only part of the story for their slow start. They were missing easy shots as well. KP missed his first 4 attempts, and these were wide open looks for his standards. His first bucket came around 2.5 minutes left in the first, by rising above the defense for a turnaround jumper. I do want to highlight this off-ball cut by Ish Smith. The timing was just perfect. He started the cut when Wright turned his head. He did all this behind the defense, finds the open spot, and hits the mid-range. Luka had his fair share of struggles in the first quarter. He drives into the teeth of the defense, demonstrates some nice footwork, but his banker just rattles out. His shot was just a little bit strong on this 3-ball attempt. For this possession, he was thinking a few steps too far ahead. He predicted that Beal would dig down on Kleber, but Beal hasn't committed to that yet. He only jabbed towards Kleber, which baited Luka into firing the cross-court pass. The second and third quarter was a whole different story. Luka heated up and started hitting his step-back threes. I did notice that these step-backs are a little different than last year. Compare this one to his typical step-backs. They're quicker, and defenders get caught off guard. Adding this will throw defenders off, and only help with his offense in the future. All these threes must have primed the defense, and allowed Luka to put on a show and finish with an off-foot layup. A pump fake gets Bonga in the air, and leaves him behind on the play. Finney-Smith sees this, so he doesn't set an actual screen. This forces the Wizards to switch, and Luka goes to work. Look at that beautiful finish. Luka also took a page out of Brunson and Villanova's book, by using a jump stop that gets 2 defenders in the air. At this point, he hasn't established his pivot foot, allowing him to pivot into the open space for a layup. Here's a post-up for Luka on the smaller Ish Smith. He initiates the contact and still able to hit the floater. All the scoring from Luka forced the Wizards to load up on him, since McRae was shadowing Bonga. A slip by Hardaway Jr. puts him 3 steps ahead of McRae and hits an open mid-range off the flare screen. The bench helped with their second quarter surge as well. Pushing the pace allows Jackson to attack early without the defense getting set. There was no help defense, and Jackson hangs in the air for the layup. KP comes off the pin down, and Jackson benefits from his gravity. Bertans and Bryant miscommunicates, giving up a close range floater. A pin down for Curry turns into a flare for KP. This forces the defense to switch, and leads to a Curry 3-ball. KP started to heat up as well, hitting these contested shots. He's at his best attacking off the catch, either off a trailing 3 like this one, or curling off the screen here, which forced a smaller defender on him, and gets him an easy point-blank shot. There was a late-game scuffle between Luka and Beal in the fourth, when the Wizards made a comeback and cut the lead down to single digits. This was a veteran move by Beal, getting physical with him, trash-talking, and trying to get into Luka's head, who's having a great game. Beal's second technical was questionable, but what he did worked. Luka misses the technical free throw, and subsequently, the step-back dagger. Fortunately, the Mavs do get the board. Their offense scrambles, and KP capitalizes with the alley-oop. This just reminds us how young Luka and KP are, but experiences like these will prepare them against more experienced teams in the future. I do want to touch upon their defense. since they held Beal to 7 of 25 shooting. The Mavs had a game plan of letting anyone score but Beal. Although he does get into pain, KP was willing to help off his man in the corner. Luka does the same thing, but Bonga does hit the corner 3. Once again, Beal curls off the screen, and Wright helps one pass away. They give up an open 3 on the wing, but they're forcing anyone but Beal to beat them. Beal pushes the pace, before the defense gets set. Brunson leaves his man to shadow Beal, and gives up the 3. The length of Kleber and KP were too much for the Wizards to handle as well. Beal forces up a wild shot so that it doesn't get blocked. On this play, he blows past KP, but he had no way of scoring this because KP's length would have blocked a regular layup or a reverse layup as well. You can see that Beal was starting to get frustrated. He pushes the ball up and just jacks up a 3 with so much time on the shot clock. I want to emphasize that this is just one game. The Wizards lacked wing defenders to lock down Luka, so I doubt he will shoot 12 of 19 from the field against better defensive teams. KP had a great game, especially from deep, but I would like to see him grab more than 4 rebounds. As for the defensive scheme, their rim protection will carry over, but they won't get away with helping one pass away against more talented teams. This game was a great example of what to expect from the Mavs this season. Luka and KP will carry the offense night in and night out, but their bench production will come and go. Whether the Mavs can make the playoffs will depend on the latter part. Thank you for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.